Welcome to TradeSpoon. I'm Vlad Karpel. I'm CEO and founder of TradeSpoon. And today we're going to have a live trading room open to trade stock and options using TradeSpoon technology. Before we begin, let me know if you guys can hear me and see my screen. And we'll begin shortly after. Lalit, good afternoon. Jax, Jim John, Lalit, Teresa, Thomas, how are you? All right, let's start. Welcome to TradeSpoon. I'm Vlad Karpel. I'm CEO and founder of TradeSpoon, and today we're going to have a live trading room open to trade stock and options using TradeSpoon technology. For those of you who are new, welcome. If this is your first live event, do me a favor, tap in first. Always want to welcome new subscribers. Disclosures are very important. I'm trading stock and options. If you never read Risks of Standardized Options, I encourage you to do that at optionsclearing.com. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not registered with FINRA nor SEC. I'm showing you what I do in my own account based on my own risk tolerance level for general education information purposes only. Please consult your financial advisor prior to making any trading decisions. Also, it should not be assumed that the future trade picks will be profitable or equal past performance. And you can see the relationship between TradeSpoon and trading block on the bottom of your screen. All right. All right, let me know if you can hear, if anyone is new and I need to go over the trading plan. Otherwise, let's jump into the watch list. Let's look. So we did have that meeting, right? Market was trying to decide what to do next, right? Around, 1 p.m. Central. Kind of going back and forth, and now it's actually trading higher. Trading higher again. We said, according to Fed meeting aside, you have 395 overhead resistance, 384 support. Market was trying to break through this 397 level for the past few sessions, right? Past weeks, so unable to do this. Now it's too early. Market could be, last 15 minutes is important, but at least right now, Nasdaq is leading the market, and the spiders are up above this level. I think this level is important, right? Because this is where we've retested 380. Right, 380. This is where we traded, tested 385 side. So from my perspective, we were going, it's hard to call the bottom, right? Is this 385 the bottom? Is this 380 at the bottom? It's kind of, I'm just regurgitating what we said in the morning. Nobody knows, right? Nobody knows. But looking for a bottoming process is important. So it looks like, bottoming processes continue. It's pretty violent, right? Every day we have 2% up, 2% down. It's going to be becoming the norm. So if we are able to close above this level, right? If we're able to close above this level, then I would say that this is probably the bottom, short term, right? Long term, I think this bottom will be broken, but short term, next couple of weeks, maybe even going into the earnings, right? Next earnings cycle in July, this probably the bottom, and will probably here to stay. So at least from trader's perspective, you can determine what your risk is short term, right? You can say, okay, if I'm buying right now spiders at 400, then there's 20 points to the downside, and then you can think about how far it can go higher. So that's kind of my thought process. So today is important. Obviously, after the Fed meeting, it's always a violent moves up and down. I mean, it'll be important, Thursday and then Friday, going into the long weekend, Memorial Day weekend. It's important to look at Treasury is stable, right? Not making drastic move like before, right? Every time, Fed would be hawkish, and then the yield would just skyrocket, rally 3-4%. It looks like market digested the news about the inflation and how bad the inflation is, probably reached its peak, right, of fear and panic. And now, I think the earnings will take over. Right now, people will probably react less to Fed as long as the rhetoric doesn't change, but they'll look more to earnings, JWN. Right, Nordstrom is up 14%. The exporting goods, incredible reversal rate, 20% down, 10% up, all in a matter of 24 hours. And then we have Nvidia. That should set the tone, right? Nvidia is up 5% going into the earnings. Who else? Baidu, right? Baidu. Alibaba. And then Marvell. Right, all kind of announcing earnings. Give me 1 second. Let's see if Marvell is announced now. Sorry about the noise. Fred, thank you. Good afternoon. Have I sold FCX? No, FCX, it hasn't broken. Until it breaks the bottom, I'm not going to sell FCX. If it drops below 30, I would probably, or even probably if it drops below 33, I would start thinking about selling. But this is just going through the bottoming process. I'm not in a hurry. Okay, yeah, no problem. Okay. All right. One second. Fred, we'll see where we're going to close. In terms of 410, again, there's two types of traders, right? If you're, the way I look at the support and the resistance level, who has a proof, like burden of proof, right? Like lawyers. Once, we'll see where we're going to close. We're at 400. So it looks like we bulls took out 396. Let's assume this bullish momentum continues into the closing, and we close above 397. So then the next level of overhead resistance is 410. It's again, until this level is broken, you're going to assume that market is going to go lower, right? So I would revisit my portfolio at 410, right? At 410, risk reward is a lot different than this morning when it was at 390, right? Because 20% up now at 410, this is the bottom, right? Probably here to stay, but still, as long as we haven't peak in the volatility, there's always going to be chance that we're going to drop to 380. So at 410, right, we're jumping. The question was, should we short at 400? 410. It depends on your portfolio composition, right? And what kind of trader are you, right? There's two types of traders. Short-term aggressive trader with clearly defined levels, yes. So 410, you have 30 points to the downside, you have 20 points to the upside. So the risk versus the reward is going to change dramatically. And it could happen, end of this week, right? We're not going to get to 410 today. Well, we'll see the way it moves, who knows. But anyway, not today, but, by Friday we could be at 410. So then what do? Right, you look at your portfolio composition, you look at your risk versus the reward. At 410, aggressive short-term traders, probably, I would short at 410, right? Short at 410 with a clearly defined stop level. Because if we're going to close above 410, for day one, day two, then, then you're going to stop out. So that's one way to look at it. I would still look for reversals because these rallies are going to be violent, right? We talked about, on the downside, we grind into the downside, but these rallies are going to be very quick, and we can have 3-4% up days. So I would be careful. I would just wait for reversal. I'm actually thinking about, I have that QQQ iron butterfly converted to credit put spread. So last 15 minutes, we'll see where we're going to close. I might actually want to, close that long put that I rolled down and convert it into a credit spread, get more bullish, because 410, shorting 410, this is day trading, short-term trading. But, next couple of weeks, I think market is going to get to 430, right? Assume, and again, always the risk of retesting 380. This is something I think you can keep in mind, but I think it's reasonable to assume we'll get back to 50-day moving average, right? Because market is rallying, on the Fed news, right? On hawkish statement, right? You can, what's this guy, Wise, right? On CNBC, he said, what's his trade idea of the day? Trade idea, he said short TLT, short TLT. So he's bearish on the market, right? He's bearish on the market, and there are a lot of guys like Wise, they are overly bearish, right? Usually they're not very flexible. They're always very bearish. So we reached a level of this extreme negativity where, market can, continue going higher. So right now, I think I would be in observation mode. If we close above 397, then it opens the door to 408. At 408, we have to think about it. It depends on your portfolio composition. Maybe not going short, but closing some of my positions, long positions. IWM, maybe close half of that position. Maybe XLK, close half of that position. Right? Start trimming the position, right? Because best case scenario, it's 430, 440, right? 430, 440 next couple of weeks. But the fact that we are rallying on negative news, right? That's good. I wasn't actually listening. Let's see. What did they exactly did they say? Briefly. Stock market. Okay, FOMC meeting shows participants think 50 basis points hike would be appropriate in the next couple of meetings. The major adjustment doesn't look like anything new. Interestingly, most participants judge that 50 basis point increase in the country would likely be appropriate in the next couple of meetings. In addition, many participants judge that expediting the removal of policy accommodation would leave the committee well positioned later this year to assess the effects of policy framing and the extent on which economic development warranted policy. So I'm reading this stuff. And one other key for me. Overall price pressure may no longer be worsening, and all participants support plans to reduce the size of the balance sheet. I mean, I don't know if there's anything new, right? The only thing that's maybe new that, maybe last time everybody thought we're going to have 75 basis points. Now looks like 50 basis points is enough. But fundamentally, nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. So, all right. So we'll see. I think right now I would just observe the price action, right? Let's see. Dollar stable, treasury is stable. Looks like the only thing that does look really good is this high yield rally. That's constructive. Highly, high yield. I mean, junk bonds rallying and high grade bonds rallying. That's good. That's constructive. Semiconductors rally. MTN performing, Nvidia. In Nvidia hopefully will deliver good earnings, or at least not worse than expected. And I think that would be good for the market. All right, any questions? So thank you, John. Good afternoon, Albert. GPS. Gold gap. We're talking about gap. With the retailers, I was trying to do the earnings. Like they're just too volatile for my taste. They're too volatile, right? We have, a story from Target, that they're over whatever, too much inventory. They can't manage their inventory or supply. You have stories from Walmart, but on the other hand, you have stories like TJX. So to me, it's like it's a flip in the coin. I mean, I'm not I'm not an analyst who follows these companies, who reads their balance sheet, before I go to sleep. I don't. To me, I look at this group and they're so random, they're so oversold that, like predicting the outcome of the earnings, I have no idea. They could be up 30%, Gap could be up 30%, it could be down 30%. I know Gap is extremely volatile. I personally would stay away from Gap. VIX volume, Jax, I do look at VIX. The problem with the VIX, it's elevated, right? It's above historical average. That kind of becomes the new norm, right? Where 20 used to be overhead resistance, now 20 is support. So it's been trading between 20 and 40. The only conclusion I can make, since the VIX never capitulated and there was never a panic in spiders, that means that the 380 level can be broken basically anytime, right? Like any kind of black swan event. It could happen tomorrow, right? Nvidia has horrible earnings and the market just going to reverse down, right? Like we had, like was Walmart and Targets, right? They had horrible earnings and just market could try to rally and collapse. Tomorrow, if Alibaba and Nvidia says that, supply chain issue, we're overstaffed, our margins are collapsing, market is going to sell off, right? So unfortunately, that's the environment we are trading. And as long as VIX have not capitulated and, Spider's volume has never reached any meaningful volume, right? we've never had, this is meaningful volume, right? In 20, right? I mean, this is, big volume. Here, I mean, there's no panic in Spider's volume, right? And QQQ, actually, interestingly enough, that QQQ was down, 30% in, 30% in during the pandemic, right? High, pandemic sell-off, down 30% on extreme volume. Now we are down, VIX is, we're down 30%, also 30%, and volume is, similar. Volume is similar. So VIX in QQQ and volume in QQQ might argue that at least short term it kind of topped out, bottomed out, right? It's kind of reached that level. So that would be a bullish argument, right? That would be a bullish argument that, yeah, we're down 30% in 2020, we're down 30%. Looks like volume is extreme. Looks like volume is also similar levels. At least short term, maybe QQQ has, that 50% retracement is where we're going to pause for a few weeks. Okay, John, good luck. GPS, all right, John. Hopefully I answer your question. Let me know if you have any other questions. So K is up $2. John, Bitcoin, to me, it's a proxy for risk taking, right? I mean, the fact that Bitcoin is actually not rallying today, it's a little bit concerning to me. I think Bitcoin will follow high, junk bonds and ARK Innovation. Right? To me, they're all trading the same way. Right? I mean, ARK Innovation is up 5% today. So I think, and so if the spider is gonna continue going higher, I cannot imagine Bitcoin not continue going higher. I don't think that's gonna divert. So I have opposite opinion from you, right? I don't think it makes sense to short the market right now. Market is extremely oversold. 410, 430, I think, yes. I think it makes sense to start closing your long positions 410, 430. At 400, if we're going to close above this level, tomorrow if Nvidia and Alibaba has any type of, momentum is behind the bulls, right? We're posting lower highs on the negative news market rally. If Nvidia has decent earnings and Alibaba has decent earnings, I mean, you might have 4% rally tomorrow, 3% rally, like these violent moves to the upside. So you don't want to stay in front of these kind of large movements. You want to wait. If anything, wait till you have three of these candlesticks down, right? 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours down. Okay, then we can say, okay, the rally will not happen. But you have candlestick 1, candlestick 2. If we have 1 more hour of candlestick higher greens, then momentum is accelerating behind the bulls. Right? We close this gap. We're trading above this level. We might be at 410, tomorrow. But that's just my opinion. Makes sense. Bob President. Sounds good. Sell rally. Sounds good. Yeah. 6 long, 8. Then you're all good. Thanks, John. Makes sense. All right. Let me see what I have. It's great what John has, but what does Vlad have? All right. So let's review Vlad's positions. All right, we talked about FCX. Kind of cup and handle, obviously extreme overhead resistance at the 38 level. Dollar is not really moving, right? Well, the path of least resistance for the dollar is to the downside. So weaker dollar, I think FCX should continue rally. I'm going to hold on to FCX. IWM. Sorry. Again, major overhead resistance. It's outperforming QQQ, which is interesting. It's outperforming QQQ, something I would not expect, but okay. I guess weaker dollar is good for small cap stocks. Okay, give me 1 second. Sorry, something. I have to. So let me just quickly. Let me go back. So Russell 2000, I'm long 180, 190 call spread. I think Russell. This is mainly overhead resistance, right? This 182. Obviously, if we're going to close above 182, then Russell 2000 probably heading higher, maybe to 200 level. So no changes Russell 2000. And then let's review the rest. Give me 1 second. Just give me a couple minutes. Sorry about that. Apologize. All right. Can you guys hear me? Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So earnings play. So let's see. Let's what time is it? 2:38. Let's see. Where are we? Treasury is higher. That's interesting. Yield is lower. Spiders higher. So also kind of, yeah, I mean, it'll take a day or two to settle, but, you know, at least before, you know, every time Treasury would rally, market would sell off. Now market rallies and Treasury rally. So it looks like we're kind of repeating. You know, sensitivity to high yield. Inflation, right? Low inflation, I guess market rallies. But you do have the narrowing of the spread, yield spread between the 2-year and 10-year. So we'll see. That's a little bit concerning, but we'll see where we're gonna close. All right, so earnings, so QQQ, let's look at QQQ. 240, let's see. QQ is not trading above this level. I wish it would close above this level. For now, it's not, so we'll wait for confirmation. So I'm not going to change QQQ. I did close the call spread. Short term, I still have the butterfly, right? So I have a butterfly. I'm not going to change it. I did buy QQQ stock, and you know we'll monitor this position. Silver is trading. Silver is trading flat. I do have a small spider position. So it's kind of trying to, bulls and bears are trying to fight for this level, 397. Last 15 minutes will be important. And then XLK is higher. XLK is trying to, you know, just like spiders, trying to break above this level. So Apple is important. Apple is flat, underperforming. That's not good news. Microsoft is underperforming. Google underperforming. So I think it's just Tesla is up 5%, and Amazon up 2.5%. All right, so in terms of earnings, let's see. Nvidia. So I'm gonna get into the Nvidia. So got filled for 65 cents, 0.5% on Nvidia short put. To hedge, I would buy a 130 put. Let's 60, 130. Let's see, 120 put, 30 cents. 110 put, 12 cents. So buy 112 put. So I'm risking $2,000. So the maximum loss is if Nvidia drops to 110. 110, that would be, you know, 30%, 40% drop in Nvidia. Can Nvidia drop 30, 40%? I mean, in this environment, I guess it's possible, but it's a low probability event. I mean, it could drop to 130, 125. That's definitely possible. So, but anyway, the maximum loss is $2,000, $50. So I'm looking for, what is it? 4% profit, right? $2,000, 10% would be $200. So 2.5% gain. I can turn around and do the same for calls, right? It's low probability that Nvidia will drop below, 110 level, but on the opposite, probably 130, right? 130 would be $40, so 210, right? So there is a lot of overhead resistance, around 210. So selling 210 call is, would be the other position. So Nvidia, I would go into, let's see, 200, maybe another $50, 205 call. So 205 call. 205 call, that would be $35. So 20% rally, 20%, a little bit less, 17% rally. It's possible. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do call spread on Nvidia. I'm not sure. Maybe 205, 207.5. So 10. Two, 5 calls. Right, lost a lot of value. I think about it. No, just stick with call spread, put spread. Just to close. Right. So just doing the put spread. Yeah. Sold 130, bought 110. I mean, other earnings, Alibaba, Baidu announcing earnings. Not sure about, somebody said Marvell, but I think it's tomorrow after the close. Yeah. So Marvell. That's tomorrow after the close. So I would wait with Marvell, but in Costco, that's tomorrow. But you have Medtronic, you have Alibaba, Baidu. Alibaba actually did in my personal account. You can sell 15% out, $70 put. I don't know when was the last time Alibaba at $70, but well, that's going back to when they got listed. But you can sell 70 put now and get some premium. So then that's selling credit put spread on Alibaba makes sense. What was my credit? I sold it for 65 cents. I did hedge for 12 cents. So I received 65 cents on 130 put. All right, we have 13 minutes. So last 15 minutes is going to be important. I would watch last 15 minutes and see where we're trading. I think people are trying to decide if this, I mean, ideally you want to close right above that level. So if we can close at this level, then this would be good. Now 12 minutes left. Let's see which are the strongest stocks. What's moving and what's not? Materials are not moving, but they have been outperforming. So, strong bottom, right? It looks like a strong bottom for home builders. Toll Brothers up 4%. Again, extremely oversold. Medicine miners up 2%. That's positive. China up 1.5%. Industrials are underperforming, but also constructive. So oil looks like oil is trying to break out. XOP facing overhead resistance up 4%. Dollar flat. Strong jump moves in the junk bonds. It's very constructive. The retail sector from the bottom, kind of leading the way. Semiconductors up 2%. Russell 2000 up. Consumer discretionary up 3%. Tesla is up. Transportation is up. That's good. Telecommunication is up 1.5%. The only concern I have is not the only, but Apple, right? Why is Apple not moving and why is Microsoft not moving? So that's Microsoft is moving. Okay, Microsoft is up 1% at least. So that's good. Netflix is dying. Facebook still underperforming. Google. So it's like only Microsoft. Microsoft up 1%, Amazon up 2.5%, and Tesla is up 5%. All right, let's look at the market. All right, it looks like now the institutions coming in and pushing the market slightly down below this level. Any questions? Small volume. Right, ExxonMobil, still bullish on oil, okay. I do like ratio spreads, right? If you, especially, if you're very bullish or very bearish and you think strong momentum to the upside, you can do ratio spread, yeah. Thank you, John. That active trader taking a hiatus, I'm not sure what that means. No, active trader should be fine. We're not taking active traders should, active traders should continue on. There's no problems. All right, let's see. Any other questions? So again, not a big move in currency, not a big move in treasury market, big move in high quality and low quality yield, which is very good. And that's a strong bull case. What else? Bitcoin is, Bitcoin is up. ARK is up. Small cap stocks are up. Energy. All right, 2 minutes left. Let's see. Spiders are slightly lower than this overhead resistance. It did trim kind of rally, but again, until we close above this level, then there's always, risk, retesting 388 or 380. So I guess all eyes are on Nvidia earnings and Alibaba and Baidu. And we have Costco and Marvell after that. But I think this was a win for the bulls overall. All right, that's all I have for today. Thank you very much and have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Thank you, Albert. Spiders is a little weaker into the closing. I agree, but still up 1% and briefly touched above this level. So obviously we need to follow through tomorrow. So we need to get above, we're either going to be above 400 tomorrow or we're going to, fall back to 390, 388. Right? You know your support now is 388 and your overhead resistance is 400. So between 400 and 388, that's your current range. We'll see where, we'll see where we're going to close. All right. Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Thank you.